Hello. Due to some technological differences, I have to do my PowerPoint presentation on my computer and film using my phone. So with that fair warning, here we go. Have you ever visited another country? If so, which one and why did you visit? Hello, my name is Addie Biggers and thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation on my journey to Turkey. I firsthand went to Turkey and saw the colorful and rich culture with my own eyes. So today I'm going to share with you why we visited, we being me, my brother, my mom, and my dad, and what we saw and the way our two cultures varied. So why did we visit? Well, my mom, my dad, my brother, and I left our 6 younger siblings with my grandparents to go visit our friends who currently live in Turkey. We have been best friends with these people ever since we both moved to Washington, D.C., so we longed to go visit them while they lived in Turkey, and last summer presented an opportunity to go see our friends. Now, these friends have been to Turkey many times before and have a big heart for Turkey, so they kind of knew the way around Turkey. And so this brings us to our second point, some of the things we saw. My family visited 2 of the big cities, Ankara being the majority of our stay, about 7 days, and Istanbul we were in for a day. There are not many cultural fanatics in Ankara or cultural big objects in Ankara, but there was a castle that we did get to visit, which was super gorgeous and wonderful. Now, because it wasn't a big, ruin like Ankara or like Ephesus, we were able to, climb around on it and play on it a little bit. When we were in Istanbul, we got to see the Blue Mosque, and it was gorgeous with all of its mosaics on the ceiling, and the architecture similar to the Hagia Sophia, which we got to see next, was gorgeous. The Hagia Sophia and the way it was structured was, again, just gorgeous, like the Blue Mosque. We got to go in and visit, and it was super beautiful. Now, the architecture differences between the Hagia Sophia and something you would see on a regular basis in America is wildly different, which leads us to our third and final point, the culture contrast between the two countries. The biggest culture contrast, and perhaps the most obvious, is the language. Now, the language is much easier to read in Istanbul or in Turkey than it is in America. In Turkey, the language is very phonetic. Something that threw me off was seeing capitalized dotted I's, because in their language, a dotted I and an undotted I make 2 different sounds, and I. So seeing capitalized dotted I's was somewhat of a culture shock for me. A slightly smaller culture contrast is the Turks' love of Turkish tea. And this Turkish tea is everywhere you go. You will get it at any sit-down restaurant you go to, and even some small shops will give you some tea as you shop around. And finally, the size difference between the two countries is vastly different. In America, our country is so big, we have most of the biomes. The only biome that I can think of off the top of my head that we don't have is grasslands, or is rainforests. We have grasslands, we have desert, we have forests, we have even tundra up in Alaska. However, in Turkey, especially Ankara, it is all desert. Even if you look on Google Maps, you can see there's a green circle of Ankara and then just brown desert everywhere around them. So Turkey is a wonderful country, and I hope to visit again. I loved learning more about the fascinating culture that makes up Turkey. I loved visiting old friends, going to fun places, and learning more about Turkey. Thank you for watching.